Hey students, I am Sanju Jhajria, Assistant Professor of English at Government College Ratangad. Today I am going to explain the second coming poem by W.B. Yeats. This poem is included in BA Part 2nd, Paper 1st by Maharaja Ganga Singh University, Bikaner. So first of all I am going to explain the first stanza. Turning and turning in the widening gyre, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold, mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. So what is the meaning of the title? The second coming. The poem prophesies the coming of a new destructive God and the reversal of Christian values. So this is the meaning of the second coming. Turning and turning. The writer is explaining turning and turning means continuously rotating or moving. Widening means ever increasing. So it is continuously rotating or moving and it is ever increasing. Gyre means circular movement. So circular movement is continuously rotating or moving and ever increasing. The falcon is a bird and symbolically here it is used for man. Cannot hear the falconer and it is not hearing the bird trainer, symbolically Christ or God. So the man is not hearing the maker, the God. Things fall apart. Things are falling apart. So things are falling apart. Things are breaking down. So the falcon cannot hear the falconer means the bird should obey its master or trainer. Symbolically, the man should obey its master or God. It cannot hear its master. It is because of the distance between the two depending on the system of gyres. It implies man's separation from ideal of himself and his break with every traditional time. Things fall apart means things are disintegrating, things are breaking down. The center cannot hold and old values are disappearing. The old values are disappearing from the world. Hold means control its movement. So Christianity no more exercise any power on the minds of men. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Mere anarchy. Instruments of complete chaos. Complete chaos can be seen in the world. So mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. In the whole world, anarchy is completely seen. So instruments of complete chaos. Loosed means unleashed. Is free from all restraints and limitations. So anarchy can be seen in the whole world. So things are falling apart means traditional values are collapsing and there is widespread disintegration, and these are the instruments of complete chaos and it is free from all restraints and limitations. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed. The blood-dimmed tide, a tide of violence, a tide both dimmed by blood and in the blood itself. This bloody tide is said to ruin the world. And everywhere, it can be seen everywhere. So Yeats is here thinking of anarchy and violence that come in the wake of Irish and Russian revolutions. The ceremony of innocence. The ceremonious or traditional life that produces innocence. So it is ceremonial now. Is drowned. It is drowned now. So the ceremonious or traditional life that produces innocence is drowned now. The best lack all conviction. The best persons, rulers and intellectuals lack all conviction. Conviction means they have lost their faith. Conviction means faith. While the bad people, while the rebel masses are full of passionate intensity. They are full of intense fanaticism. So the conclusion of this stanza is, since man disregards Christ, Christianity has broken down. Anarchy, bloodshed, and disbelief have engulfed Europe. The rulers have lost faith, and the masses have become fanatical. So I think you understood this stanza, and now we are heading towards next stanza. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are those words out when a vast image out of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere in sands of the desert, a shape with lion body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun, is moving its slow thighs, while all about it real shadows of the indignant desert birds. Surely. Now the poet is saying that surely some revelation is at hand. Some revelation, prediction of a new millennium, a new era ruled by Antichrist, the disclosure about the total extinction of the modern world and the rise of a new civilization. So he is pointing towards the new civilization which will come after Christ civilization. So surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. Because Christianity is breaking down, some revelation about the presiding deity of the next civilization is in sight. The second coming of God is close. It is near. The second coming of God is near. This is ironical, for no God is to come but a beast. The second coming. This is very ironical and this is very symbolical line. The second coming, the birth of a new bestial anti-civilization in the destruction of the 2000 years Christian cycle. At the present moment of life, gyre is sweeping outward, unlike that before the birth of Christ, which was narrowing. The revelation which approaches will, however, take its character from the contrary movement of the interior gyre. Hardly are those words out when a vast image out of Spiritus Mundi. Vast image means hardly are those words out. These words are hardly out when a vast image. Vast image means a nightmare symbol of the coming time. The image is not only vast in size but also of its consequences, grim implications of the revelation. Spiritus Mundi means its warehouse of supersensual Platonic image which have ceased to be a property of anti-personality. Troubles my sight, and thus my sight is troubled. Poet is saying, thus my sight is troubled. The horrible vast image stills and shocks of poet. It is very violent. Somewhere in sands of the desert, a shape with lion body and the head of a man. And this image is having lion body and the head of a man. So somewhere in sands of the desert, lion body and the head of a man suggests the union of power and intelligence and also mindless and merciless violence. A gaze blank and pitiless as the sun. A gaze blank and pitiless. The image is threatening and horrifying. As we gaze towards the sun, our gaze becomes blank, and so in this manner, this gaze, the image is threatening and horrifying. Such a beast is to supersede the Christian civilization. Is moving its slow thighs. It is moving its slow thighs, conveys the clumsy, powerful steering of the horrible beast, symbol of unrelenting violence and destruction. It will destruct everything. So it is moving its slow thighs. It is destructing everything, while all about it real shadows of the indignant desert birds. And real means is moving its slow thighs, while all about it, while everything real shadows. Real means wheel around, fly unsteadily. Indignant means slow. Indignant means ominous. So it is moving unsteadily, and it is ominous disturbance. And birds here vultures. The birds dare not come near the beast, only their shadows fall upon it. So they are wheeling around, but they cannot come near that shadow. that image because it is very dangerous, it is very horrifying. I think you understood it. And now we are heading towards last stanza. The darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem to be born. I know. First of all, poet is saying that I know. He is feeling that I know means I have seen the divine revelation. That darkness drops again. This darkness is going to drop again. It is dark again. So now poet is saying that I know it is darkness again. It is dark again. That 20 centuries of stony sleep. That 20 centuries of stony sleep means dead and spiritual life of the early Greco-Roman civilization. 20 centuries of Christian civilization, ignorance, calm, etc. were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. It is vexed, it is disturbed. Vexed means it is disturbed by a rocking cradle. It is disturbed to destruction, collapse. The stony sleep has caused this nightmare by a rocking cradle means by the birth of Christ. And what rough beast. And what rough beast. Rough beast means a shape with lion body and the head of a man. Its hour come round at last. The time for the beast's birth has come. The time for the birth of this beast has come, echoing the beast of the Revelation, a very horrible beast, difficult to describe. Slouches. It is slouching, moves in an awkward and threatening manner towards Bethlehem to born. It is slouching, it is moving towards the Bethlehem to be born. Means the next duty too will be born in Jerusalem, where Christ was born. Bethlehem means the place where Christ was born. So that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed through nightmare by a rocking cradle. That the violent beast was lulled to stony sleep and the nightmares for 2000 years by the rocking cradle of Christ. That the 20th century long petrifying sleep of the violent beast has been, as it were, broken to its indignation by a rocking of its cradle. So, the conclusion of this stanza is the vision over, he realizes the truth that 2000 years of the dead and spiritual life of Greco-Roman civilization collapsed by the birth of Christ, and that now the rough beast, the presiding deity of the next civilization, its appointed time having come, moved towards Bethlehem, the birthplace of Christ, to be born there itself. Christianity is to be replaced by the bestial civilization, which is more horrifying. So I think you understood it, and this is very imaginary poem, and W.B. Yeats has given his idea about the new civilization where beast will preside as a deity to the world. So thanks for watching this video.